Hey everybody, welcome. Here we are again with this Homelite Super XL-130. We've got it all back together. If anybody has seen the other videos, you'll kind of know what's going on. If this is your first time checking in on this channel of mine and you don't know anything about the saw, I had one other video with it, I think, and it was talking about what I was going to do with it and the whole deal with it. So this was an early model Super XL-130, Homelite Super XL-130, 1974, 1975 model. They're 58 cc's. Basically, the saw was in forgotten condition. It had been left in a barn somewhere. Overall, needed a lot of work. It wasn't just like replace the fuel lines. It was a lot. So anyway, without making this a 30-minute video, to summarize, the saw was completely disassembled, crankshaft removed, new bearings were put in on both sides, new oil seals, brand new old stock cylinder. And I thought that I had a piston and rings. I did not, unfortunately. I think in the last video I was showing this piston and rings that I thought was a Super XL. It was actually the smaller, like 101 size piston. I think they're 54 cc's. I forget what they were now. If they were 40 millimeters, 44, something like that. Anyway, it was too small. So what I ended up doing was I had a used piston that was in good shape. It had no marks on it, and then I had a set of brand new rings. So I just re-ringed that piston, cleaned everything all up, put it back together. So for all intents and purposes, it's a brand new top end on the saw, and anything else, bottom end too, I guess. All new bearings, oil seals, new gaskets, fuel lines, duckbill valves are all done. The tank has been resealed. The saw's got bucking spike, original full wrap. This isn't like a custom made one. This is actually original. The points were all good on it, so it's got a breaker points ignition. Just cleaned up the points, put everything all back together, put on a new high tension wire, new spark plug wire, new fuel line, grommets. Basically, she's all new. So what we're doing now is we're actually going to start the saw up. So I'm putting in a fuel line on it now. And so what I'd like to do with this is, I think I do. I have another choke rod. So put not a choke rod, but the choke rod cotter pin. So we'll put the choke rod back on. I was just putting the fuel system back together now. Clutch was taken off, all cleaned up, obviously. Recoil was taken apart, cleaned up, new rope in it. And now this last part to get the fuel line on the barb. So I just put these little small needle nose pliers on here, and I kind of open up the fuel line so it'll slide on. I think I even put some oil on the barb just to kind of help. And you don't want to be too crazy with this, or else you end up putting a hole in the fuel hose, and that would really ruin things for you, to be honest with you. So you don't want to be too crazy with this. So that's it. All right, just like that. She's on. And then I adjusted the throttle pin here. I don't know what's called. I forget now. The throttle adjuster. So it'll idle. Just so it's just barely touching, open a little bit. I've got everything. Needles are set low, 1.5, I think. Maybe even a little bit more. High again is like 1. These are governed, so I'm not too worried about the top end on it. Just definitely want to start out a little on the heavy side with the fuel, just because it's brand new cylinder and brand new rings, so it's going to take a little while to get it seated. I think I forgot to attach the yeah, I did. I forgot to attach the kill switch, but that's okay. I can just choke it to kill it. So I'm kind of excited. It's always fun taking a saw apart and rebuilding it. These are pretty nice saws. This is the second one that I've done this with. So I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. Not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet because I don't really need it. Maybe I'll keep it, maybe I'll sell it, I don't know. But what we do want to do is go fire it up. So we're going to go outside, put some gas in it, and yeah, let's take the video along. We'll go see it. Sometimes they fire it up and the assembly oil, if I have too much at the edges, sometimes it'll foul the plug and it's kind of a pain in the ass. But let's go check it out. All right, cut here and we'll pick it up outside. Okay, here we are. So check my needle settings again. Closest to the saw is always the low. I have that one actually. Half, 1, 1.5. High, half, 1, and like an 1/8. Okay, keep that close by, and I have my priming fuel in case I need it, but I don't plan to use it. Spark plug wrench in case things have to go to that level. And I'm not going to try and prime through the carb yet because I want to see if it'll pull fuel. So I'm just going to go ahead, choke it. And I have pulled this over and it feels like it's got really good compression. That could be just because of the assembly lube that's in it. So I would expect this thing to fire up probably and quit with all the oil it's going to be in. It's going to be super rich. Anyway, let's see what we got here. It looks like it's pulling fuel. That's good. Come on. Whoop, she just coughed. Give it half choke. There she is. She starts up, she runs, she's oiling. So that's pretty cool. All right, success. We got a running saw. So next step is to finish breaking it in. I'll probably run it here on idle for a little while and give it a couple shots. And then next thing we'll get the choke, switch, hook back up, finish dressing it up, get a bar on it, and go from there. Cool. Thanks for checking the video, guys. And girls, of course.